Yo guys, what's going on? It's Froakies14 back again, once again. Today we have a special episode covering week 5 and week 6, which are also the last two rounds of phase 1. So it's really exciting. Today we're going to do things a little bit differently. I've picked the 3 best games in each round, as there's no real point covering all the games when some are just kind of dead rubbers and don't mean anything. But there are also still a lot of good battles left and people fighting for spots in phase 2, which is really great. So we'll get into it now, and yeah, really looking forward to covering these games today. So here's the first game of week 5. We have Turkey versus iPro, with pretty much iPro needing to win this game to stay in the competition. It was always going to be tough with Turkey being the powerhouse of his division, so we'll get straight into it. Leads off with Theraphon, leads off with Uxie, reveals, I'd say it's either probably HP Fire or HP Fighting, gets his rocks up, also gets his rocks up, U-turns out into Scizor, yep. So obviously he's not going to stay in on the Scizor, so he's going to go back into his Ferrothorn. He U-turns out, takes the Iron Barb's damage, goes back into the Uxie, and the wish comes true. So now he's going to go straight into the floor just because it can pretty much take whatever the Uxie can throw at it. He U-turns out, goes into Mega Guard, so the Hyper Voice is doing about 50%. So he can kind of stall it a little bit, but he's relying on rolls, so he gets one. Luckily for him, he wishes back up. iPro doesn't want Mega Guard to take any more damage. Here, Terrakion, Turkey has very limited switch-ins to the Terrakion. He reveals Continental Crush C move, which is awesome, so that takes that out. Brings in Mamo, uses Toxic, because obviously Uxie can wall Mamo pretty well. Not wall, but take it on pretty nicely. U-turns out again. Rocky Helmet, Kingdra, which Turkey has used Kingdra very effectively as a defensive wall. So he doesn't even bother trying to protect. Mega Guard Via just survives. So he's probably going to Ice Shard here, which he does. He can't really get rocks off the field, so Mega Gardevoir is pretty much down. Unfortunately, misses a Hydro Pump, but he does reveal Citrus Berry. Pain Split, Super Fang, Electros is pretty cool set. So they're going to do this for a bit. So he Volt Switches out this time. Sacks off the Mega Gardevoir, which was the most suitable play. Goes into Terrakion. Obviously nothing can really live this hit, so he's got to sack the eel. Goes into Mamoswine. Doesn't want to risk Scarf Mamo, so he switches out his Terrakion, sacks off the Rotom. So now you could pretty much know a Focus Blast or a Surf's coming, so he predicts a Surf, goes into the Ferrothorn, which now sets up the Leech Seed. He can protect, stall, or take it out, but he does U-turn into the Gliscor. So he reveals Gyro Ball, so he would have taken out the Uxie with the Toxic and Leech Seed. So now he does sack off the Uxie, Hyper Voice, so he reveals Rest Kingdra. So obviously, luckily with the Chopple Berry. Otherwise, iPro probably would have won this game and can take it out with an Gyro Ball. And obviously, Heliolisk can't really touch the Ferrothorn with the set. U-turn can kill the Ferrothorn, but now there's no way to kill the Kingdra unless set up, and he's not. So that is good game. Reveals HP as well. So here's a summary. So as we saw, Ferrothorn for Turkey put in a lot of work, which to be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of it in a league format, but Turkey used it really well. Mamoswine and Kingdra put in work once again. They've been really good mons for Turkey. For iPro, Terrakion was really good. It didn't really have that many switch-ins, but unluckily the Ferrothorn packed Troppleberry. And Mega Garden Scissor put a bit of pressure on Turkey's team, but it just wasn't quite enough. So unfortunately iPro is eliminated from the tournament, and Turkey will go to the next stage. So this next match was Hiker vs Ashki. So this match was a massive mismatch on paper, so I didn't cover it in full. But in saying that, Ashki did put up a really good fight and didn't disgrace himself. He only lost 2-0 and it was a pretty close battle. Hiker showed why he is moving to the next stage with stuff like Reflect type Starmie. And he did Toxic the Zygarde at a very important stage, which whittled it down, which was a massive threat. And in the end, Hiker's walls were just way too good. Ashki picked a bit of heat, and as I said, he played really well. Shaman got 2 kills, again walling a lot of the other division's team, or his opponent's teams, as I should say. Starmie and Aerodactyl did work as well. For Ashki, Rotom Heat put in a lot of work and a lot of pressure on Hiker's team, as did Magiona and Zygarde, but again it just wasn't quite enough. Ashki's had a very disappointing tournament, hasn't won a game so far, so yeah, Hiker will go through to the next stage. So yeah, he has a really good team, really good walls, really good physical threats as well, and then you pack it off with Starmie, who's put in a lot of work as well. So yeah, that was a good game by Hiker and Ashki. So the next game was A12 vs Turbo. So I wanted to cover this game because Turbo pretty much needed to win to stay in contention, and A12 would lock away a spot if he won. So this game's pretty long, so we'll skip through a lot of it. So he starts off, obviously Druddigon is the Victini counter once again. It probably will pack Glaciate, but it probably won't do enough with the special defensive investment. So here's a massive misplay by A12, letting his Diggersby switch into a Gastrodon and get burned. He does reveal the Breakneck Blitz, which gets a crit, but Turbo just recovers up on it. So return, even with the crits only doing 30%. So there's Diggersby gone, which is his main offense. He does get the Toxic up on the Gastrodon, which will matter later. And Foul Play does a massive amount to Raikou. So he roofs up here. Crobat is obviously a pretty good switch into the Venusaur, so he U-turns out there, Foul Plays again, so it's just a bit of a stall. So he does get the Skull Burn there, so Foul Play is obviously not doing much anymore, which really hurts 8-12. So Crobat takes the V-Crate really well, better than I thought, so he U-turns out. Now he can trap the Victini, and Victini, one of the big threats of Turbo, is down. So he sets up Rocks, which is really risky, but now he can go into the Coughing. So the Coughing, I'm not sure why it really came this game. It's not really doing that much. I think A12 just wanted to get a few kills with it. U-turns out. So the Gastrodon is down now. So he sets up Rocks with the Bishop. Swords Dance up. Unfortunately, he wasn't packing. I don't think he was packing a Steel move, or otherwise he probably would have used it right here. But I'm not sure if it would have taken it out anyway. So he does Foul Play. So the Raikou gets whittled down. Hidden Power doing a lot to the Coughing, so it's going to take it out. Dugtrio is being a really good revenge killer so far. Goes to the Sucker Punch. So if he had a Steel move, I think he would have used it. I'm not really sure about that. So he does Defog, getting Rocks off the field, which will help the Crobat a lot. So now he goes, the Crowbot's the answer to the Mega Venusaur. So there's a lot of kind of wall for wall in this game. So there's just a lot of switching and that kind of stuff. Crobat nearly went down a couple of times, but Turbo just can't quite take it out. So here I'm just going to skip through a lot of this. Oh no, I hate when this happens. But anyway, now Druddigon's just stuck in the field. And there we go, back at it. So here I'm just going to pause it here. So There's no real point going any further. Actually, next turn, I'll go to the next turn because this is where he loses the game. Sucker Punch, and dies to the rough skin. So now he just doesn't have enough offense to take out the two defensive mons, and it's just a kind of a stall war for ages, and then A12 eventually whittles him down and wins. So yeah, that's just about it, and that's how the battle went. So here's the summary. As I said, Doug Trio was a really good revenge killer with two. Mandibuzz and Crobat played major roles, and so did Lejon. The only misplay A12 made was with the Diggersby. For Turbo, Latios was his win con, and it got 2 kills, and it was doing really a lot of work, but unfortunately the Lejon had Sucker Punch, so that kind of sucked for him. And Gastron put in a bit of work at the start, but yeah, A12 just won, and he will go through to the next round, eliminating Turbo. So the next game is Johnny versus Risepool versus Burb. So in this game, it wasn't the best game, to be honest. Johnny's threats were just too good. Lopunny, Gengar, Suicune, Thundurus were just a bit too much for Burb's team. In saying that, Burb did put in a good fight. He tried to set up with Decidueye early, which nearly worked, and the Hydreigon, and Jirachi got a kill each as well. But yeah, it's just it was top versus bottom, so yeah, Johnny was expected to win in the end. So yeah. So here's the next match. So it's Lejon versus Greg. It was actually a really good match. Pretty much Greg needed to win this to stay in contention, and Lejon was a pretty heavy favourite in this game. So we'll get into it. Leads off with Garchomp. So he doesn't really want to stay in with the... They both don't really want to stay in and risk it. So Volt Switch is doing really massive amounts of Cobalion, so I'd say it's a defensive set or a very offensive set. I mean, physically defensive or offensive. The Earth Power, so he's looking for the flinch here, but he doesn't quite get it, because the Thunderbolt doing almost half to Cobalion isn't really what normally happens, so I'm guessing he was either physically defensive or just playing offensive. So he makes a risky switch with the Zard, but it does pay off. So here he flamethrowers. I'm not sure why he stays in here. Maybe because of the rocks. Didn't think it was worth it to switch out. Does get a burn. But obviously he would be packing Power Gems, so it was a bit weird to sack the Zard so early. Obviously a Tapu Lele is most likely Scarf, so it can revenge kill here. But he makes a play into Incineroar. Have we finally found a Tapu Lele counter? Only doing about 38%. But obviously it can pack stuff like Hidden Power and all that kind of stuff. But that was still pretty crazy that the Incineroar took it like a boss. Yeah, so he's going to sack off the Golbat here. It's a really quick battle this. So the Tapu Lele obviously doesn't want the Incineroar to take unwanted damage, but now he goes into the Nidoqueen. So the Tapu Lele switches out. He goes for a Shadow Ball, which obviously would have KO'd it. Goes for the Thunderbolt, obviously predicting something else, but yeah, wasn't quite the play. Really need to take the Nidoqueen out, but the Garchomp can take it out anyway. So Kitten comes in, taking almost half, or sorry, is taking over half. So he does set up a Swords Dance and a Baton Pass, which is really good, and that's pretty much a good game, as the Horlucker can sub up and win, pretty much. Subs up again, high jump kick, and now Tapu Lele dies as well, obviously with the Unburden from the Horlucker. So that was a good game. Big upset. Greg showing his capabilities. It might be a little bit too late in the tournament, but yeah, that was just a really good battle, and well done to Greg for the upset. So here's the summary. Garchomp and Tapu Lele put in a little bit of work for Lejon, but he was heavily outplayed by Greg. Horlucker late game sweep was obviously key in the end. Nidoqueen put in a lot of work, and the Heligo, I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, and Rotom Mode played their roles as well. So that was a really impressive win by Greg, and keeps his tournament hopes alive just. So next game was Rob versus Jake. So I expected this game to be a really good game, really competitive, but it just didn't turn out to be like that. Rob's just showing like how good he really is, because Jake's a really good competitor. For Rob, Sceptile put in a lot of work. It got 2 kills, but it put a lot of offensive pressure on Jake. Jake bought stuff like Reflect Weavile, which was pretty interesting. Kiram got another late game sweep with 2 kills. Gramble walled a lot of Jake's team, so that put in a lot of work as well. For Jake, Manaphy and Metagross tried to bring it back for him, but it just wasn't quite there for him this week. And Rob just played really great. So yeah, that was another win to Rob, and yeah, good game. So the last game of the round was GOKU versus Tone. So GOKU's coming out of the wilderness after a couple of forfeits and is playing this round, which is great. GOKU, he actually played really well. Zerk got 2 kills, Tapu Bulu and Mega Alakazam, so he's got a lot of threats for his team. But Tone, again, bringing Azumarill to counter the Tapu Bulu very well. And he just, again, like, it wasn't the best kind of standard, but Heatran got 2 kills for Tone. There was a Choppleberry Heatran for the Alakazam again, which was nice. Tone bought defensive Azumarill with Soak, Soak it Toxic the Registeel, which is great. And GOKU bought the Zemu Tapu with Rondo Berry for the Skuntank, but not the Skuntank, the Stunkfisk. But unfortunately, it was carrying Rondo Berry. So GOKU actually played really well, and Tone just snuck through the win. So that completes round 5. So this was the first game for round 6. I was really looking forward to this game with Hiker and Turkey going at it. They're both going through to the next stage anyway, so it was just a bit of a battle for fun, I guess. Well, not really, but yeah, so we'll get into it. Hiker, so he leads off his Starmie onto the Electros, so obviously it's not the ideal matchup. Shaman switches into Eel very well, so he goes into the Conk. So he goes in the Wheezing, which is obviously the Conkeldurr counter, but Knockoff does do a fair amount. So he switches out here into the Diancie. He goes in the Klefki, which is the Diancie answer by the looks of it. Sets up a Trick Room, gets up his Stealth Rocks, goes back into the Klefki. So he gets a special attack drop, so it's not really doing much. Pelipper can switch in pretty nicely, as can the Conkeldurr. So he switches out into the Wheezing. Knockoff again, so he doesn't want to risk getting burnt or anything like that. So he reveals a Rest Wheezing, which was pretty nice, because Hiker's walls have been very good for him this tournament. So obviously, I don't know what he must have been predicting something. So now he reveals Nasty Pot Infernape, which was pretty cool. And this Z move, this is just crazy. All out pummeling, and it KOs the Pelipper, being not very effective. Vacuum Wave gets a fair bit of damage off on the Kingdra. So what Turkey's done very well this tournament again is with his versatility with his sets, but it just didn't quite work out there with the Shaman being able to take out the Kingdra. So now the attack, so Starmie, he switches out into the Aerodactyl. He doesn't want to risk the Katana going down, so that was a pretty nice double. Here the Volt Switch doesn't quite take out the Aero. So the Conkeldurr obviously will be running Mach Punch, so but he does switch in the Wheezing, and he goes into the Starmie. He goes in the Mega Diancie. This was a big misplay from Turkey, letting his Diancie go down with the Surf. He's not going to let his Starmie go down to the Eel because it's very important still, so he does Volt Switch, predicting that though. Goes back and sacks off his Mega Aerodactyl, so he can't get the Beast Boost. So now Starmie recovers, so he can take out the Conkeldurr with a Psychic. Doesn't want to risk a roll or anything like that, or not taking out the Eel. So he goes back into the Katana. Goes back into the Eel. Thunder Waves. So he's just getting a bit of chip damage off so the Starmie can finish it off. Gets a Spadef drop, which was big, depending on set. And now Starmie does reveal Hidden Power Fire, and that is good game. So that was a battle of the top of the division, and that was a really great battle. Hiker played extremely well. Turkey did well, just a couple of misplays cost him, and they will both look forward to the next phase now. So here's the summary, guys. So obviously Starmie put in major work with 4 kills, taking out stuff like the Katana, Conkeldurr, Eel, and Mega Diancie. So that was huge. Shaman again has been one of the MVPs of the tournament in my mind. It's just week in, week out walled his opponent's threats. And Infernape with the Z move and the nasty plot was really great as well. For Turkey, Katana put in a bit of pressure. Eel was a nice Volt Switch. Kingdra again was really good until being walled by the Shaman. So it was a good game. Both will, as I said, look forward to the next phase, and they should do really well. So here's the next game, Ashki vs iPro. I didn't cover it again, as it was a bit of a dead rubber. Didn't really mean anything. For Ashki, Zard and Majerna got a kill. For iPro, Crook got 1, and Dragonite got 5. So it was just way too good Dragonite in this matchup, and iPro played it perfectly. So it got 5 kills, and he got a 4-0. So that was really good for iPro to finish off the tournament. So the next game was Techno vs A12. So again, I was really looking forward to this game. The top 2 in the next division. So they were pretty much, the game didn't matter, but they were bringing a lot of heat sets, as you'll find out. And they're both really good battlers, so they put on a bit of a showcase for us, so we'll get straight into it. So he leads off with Necrozoma to the Diggersby. He Earthquakes it. A12 reveals Spikes Diggersby, which was so cool. And he is the recycled Citrus Berry. So yeah, it was awesome and toxic, so it was just very weird kind of A12 set. But it worked. It was really good to see something different. And then Techno comes back with his heat with the Batten passing into his Beedrill with a nasty plot with Silverwind, but it just doesn't quite work out for him, which was unfortunate. But it was really cool to see as well. So Air Slash is doing a lot to the Drudge. Gets off a Flamethrower, which was massive. It does 75%. So he goes into the Drapion, which isn't taking that very well, but it can outspeed the Celesteela and kill. So this game's a really quick game for an A12 match, actually. Necrozoma, he goes in the Diggersby, which is taking the hits like a boss, and can get the Citrus Berry with the Cheek Pouch. So it was just awesome. It recycles the Citrus Berry again. So actually, I think his only attacking move was U-turn, so he can't really do much, so he U-turns out. He's got the nasty plot again. So here, he subs up just in case he wants to switch out, but he doesn't. Here he goes for I think he wants to reveal a bit of his heat here. The next play, he reveals Acupressure. So yeah, again that was pretty cool, but didn't work out. So the Togekiss goes down there. Here he obviously doesn't want to stay in, so he U-turns out, which is super effective damage. Goes into Tango, he Trick Rooms up, and here is another cool play with a Sub-Zero Slammer, which actually KOs. These Z moves are crazy. But now A12 reveals a Belly Drum Mega Slowbro, which this game's getting crazy, honestly. Now I can just slack off. Yeah, so it's pretty much a good game here, but yeah, it's just been awesome really to watch. He reveals Drain Punch as well. Earthbound doing a fair chunk, but not enough. He misses the Aqua Tail. So he just slacks off again. He gets the Aqua Tail, and it is obviously a KO with the 4x attack. And the Necrozoma has an X-Scissor. He slacks off. So it's just not quite doing enough. And Techno actually says it's a abandoned Necrozoma. It's doing nothing. So it's just crazy. Mega Slowbro. Reveals Blizzard, which won't kill, obviously. And Drain Punch, and that is a good game. So yeah, that was really good battle with Heat. Obviously they weren't going 100% in that, so yeah, it was just a really cool battle, to be honest, to watch. So here's the summary. Obviously a lot of Heat. On Techno's side, he had the Silver Wind Mega Beedrill, Nasty Pot Togekiss, Sub-Zero Slammer Bruxish. Yeah, it was just really cool. And obviously on A12's side, he had the Belly Drum Mega Slowbro, Acupressure, Drapion, and the Diggersby set, which was really cool. Slowbro getting 3 kills, Drapion 2, and yeah, that was as I said a couple of times now, a really cool battle. So yeah, good on him. Okay, so obviously it's the last round, so shit's getting a bit weird. Most of the games don't matter. So in this game, Greg actually won, but on the last turn he used an illegal Z move. I'm not really sure why, but yeah, it was just a meme game really, so I don't really have much to say about it. Yeah, it was just a bit of fun, so yeah. So again, this game, so pretty much Lejon wins, he's in. If he doesn't, he gives Greg a chance to make the next round. So we'll play. So Mega Lopunny leads off to the Salazzle. Obviously he's going to fake out here. Would have done a massive amount to the Salazzle, so he switches out into his Golbat, which is his Lopunny check. He goes in the Heracross, so obviously he doesn't want to stay in with the Porygon 2. He reveals Substitute Heracross, which is really cool. Obviously Salazzle outspeeds, but Heracross can take it out with the Stone Edge. So the Reuniclus is, I'll just pause it here quickly. So last time they played, Reuniclus walled the Zard Y really well with the special set. So John's brought a physical Charizard Y, which is awesome building. It's just yeah, it was just Heat really. So the Lop obviously doesn't want to stay in there, so he goes in the Golbat, returns, which does about 37%, goes into his Piloswine, reveals Super Fang, Defogs, get those rocks away, roars out. The Flare Blitz does about half, but it does get the burn, which kind of sucked, but he did set up rocks, so he can roost up on it now. Misses the Toxic. He reveals Dragon Dance Zard Y as well, again, which is just... It was pretty cool. Flare Blitz, and now he can fake out with a Lopunny and take out the Zard, which was unfortunate because it did a lot of work to his team. Obviously he's going to switch out into his Gengar here. Defogs, he tricks, Gengar used tricks, so that mouth gets choice specs now. So that was interesting. The Porygon, so he doesn't want to stay in again, so he goes in the Golbat. Goes to the Thundy, Brave Birds, does 26%. I think he was sacking off the Heracross because I don't really know what he was doing other than that. So it brings in Megalop now, so it can actually take it out, which it does. So the Garchomp is doing a lot. he is scarfed as well. So yeah, that's a good game pretty much. Thunderous uses role play, which is a bit of heat as well. So yeah, Garchomp and Zard White just put in a lot of work for Lejon, and he got the win. So that was Risepool's first loss. That was a bit of an upset, to be honest, but yeah, Risepool, I don't think they were going 100% as well. So here's the summary. Risepool, he got the Hera early, which was good with the sub. So he started off really well, but it kind of tapered off from there. Lejon brought physical Zard Y, which got 2 kills, which was really cool, and then a Garchomp late game sweep with 3 kills. And Golbat did very well to wall the Lopunny for majority of the game. So these two again will both move to the next stage, which has been which has happened with obviously the other 2 divisions as well. So yeah, they'll both be looking forward to the next phase as well. And as I said with the other 2, we should do very well. So this game was actually, Tone was still alive in the comp. I'm pretty sure, don't quote me, but he needed a 4-0 or more, or a 3-0 or something like that to win, or to go to the next stage. But yeah, pretty much Jake set up with Manaphy and won. Yeah, that's pretty much what happened. It was pretty early in the game. Yeah, he just set up with Manaphy and won, and it was over. He had nothing really to stop it. And Jake booked his place in the next phase. So the last game of phase 1 was our boy Rob, undefeated versus GOKU. So in this game, GOKU started off really well. He had a Z move Silverly, took out the Kieran Black straight off the bat. And he was pretty much trying to set up sweep. So he tried to flame charge with the Silverly, he tried to flame charge with the Alola Marowak, Swords Dance to the Mimikyu. So yeah, he was just trying to set up, because it wasn't the worst idea, to be honest, because to beat Rob he needed to do something like that. For Rob, Excadrill got 2 kills, Toxicroak got 2 kills with a nice sucker punch on the Mega Alakazam. But to be honest, GOKU, again, he played quite well, and he was he got pretty close to winning, even though it was a 3-0. But yeah, Rob will go through to the next phase undefeated and looking very good. So yeah, good on Rob. He's doing really well in this tournament. So here is the final ladder and seeding. So in Slovakia division we have Boston Boulders Hiker going through on top spot, and we also have Turkey coming in second place, with iPro just missing out and Ashkey winless. In the Congo Republic we have A12 in top spot, we have Techno in second spot quite comfortably, Turbo in third spot. He did show a bit though in this tournament, and obviously Wamar with a couple of forfeits and some stuff going on. So in the China division it's not updated, but we do have Johnny 5-1 going through to the next stage, and we have Lejon with 4-2 in second spot, and we have Greg missing out, but again Greg showed a bit, and Burb on the bottom. For Cuba division we have Rob undefeated 6-0 with 20 diff, which is massive. We have Jake in the Virginia Tech Froakies 4-2. Quite comfortably as well, even though it did come down to the last game. We have Tone 2-4, who played quite well in patches, and we have GOKU, unfortunately winless for him, but again he did show a lot in the last couple of games, just with a few forfeits kind of cost him. So yeah, there you have it. You have Hiker and Turkey, A12 Techno, Johnny, Lejon, Rob and Jake into the next phase. Very hyped to cover those games. All very good battlers. Some of the best league players going around. Really good for players like A12. Even Techno, Rob, to get the exposure they deserve. And yeah, just really looking forward to phase 2, guys. Yeah, it's going to be really, really awesome. So there you have it, folks. That is week 5 and week 6, the last 2 weeks of the regular season. So thanks, guys, for listening throughout the throughout phase 1. I've really enjoyed bringing you guys the content. The last couple of weeks has been pretty full on for me. I've had a lot going on, so a couple of stuff's been late and that, but I still think I've done it to the best quality I kind of can. And the guys have been really supportive, so that's been great. As I said, I'm really looking forward to phase 2. I have a lot of my friends in it. A12 Techno, Rob, so yeah, I hope they do really well. And also to Hiker, Turkey, Lejon, Johnny as well, and Jake. So yeah, just hope everyone does well and has a lot of fun. Unless I'm sacked next week, I'm pretty sure I'm covering phase 2. So yeah, watch out for that video. It's going to be massive. I'm really hyped for it. So a couple of less battles to go through, so I can kind of go through them in a little bit more depth, as I've tried to shorten this as the season goes. This one's obviously probably going to be pretty long because the week 5 and week 6 thing. So yeah, I've tried to kind of shorten them down because no one wants to listen to a boring 1 hour kind of weekly podcast. So yeah, the phase 2 video is going to be really cool. So look forward to that. And again, thanks guys for listening. Have a really good day and peace out.